Hey y'all, welcome to the weekend edition of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, where we tackle all those mindset issues, fears, and obstacles that are holding you back from achieving your online dream. Every week, I go live 2 or 3 times in the Flipped Lifestyle Facebook group and share tips, strategies, and tactics for overcoming all the things that are holding our members back. Today's podcast is a recording of one of my recent Facebook Lives. Did you know you could join the Flipped Lifestyle Facebook group absolutely for free and attend all of my live mindset trainings? Not only do you get to listen in, but you can ask questions on the trainings and you can connect with hundreds of other family-focused entrepreneurs from around the world. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/FL group. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/FL group, and we'll get you added into the Facebook community today. You can also open your Facebook app and type in Flipped Lifestyle in the search bar, and you'll find the group that way as well. I can't wait to connect with you inside the Flipped Lifestyle Facebook group. I know you're going to love it, and I know you're going to love today's show. So without further ado, let's get on to today's podcast.
Welcome to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now, we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What is going on, everybody? Shane here, coming to you live from Flipped Lifestyle World Headquarters. Got the big sign in the background. I'm not in my normal room today. Super excited to be here and get some work done. My kids are at Gifted and Talented out at the school, so they actually got to go to school today for an hour or two. And Jocelyn is at home taking care of some stuff, recovering. She's a little bit tired from a bunch of travel that we have had recently. All right, so what we're going to do here is I was actually going to do something else on my calendar today, but something happened, and it really kind of got on my nerves at first. And then I had to think about it. I was like, no, this isn't going to get on my nerves. I'm going to be at peace today. And I'm actually going to go live and talk about my feelings. So this is my therapy session for what happened today. But what I want to talk to you guys here in the Flip Lifestyle community today is time management and also relationships and how important both of those are for online business, when you become an entrepreneur, when you're building these relationships, when you're managing your time, when you're trying to decide like what's the best use of your time, how can you respect your time and respect other people's time, and a little bit on how to handle cancellations. You know, if you're a blogger or a podcaster or a YouTube creator, you're inevitably going to do interviews. You're eventually going to be talking to people. You're eventually going to be scheduling appointments where you both have to be in the same place at the same time. And I remember when I first started out, I had the opportunity to be on a pretty good podcast. It was fairly significant, a pretty big influencer. And I knew that this influencer also really valued time management and really valued their time. I'd heard this person talk on stage about how they really got mad when people didn't show up or were late, and they thought it was just an assault to their time because their time was so valuable. And look, it is all of our time. The time is the only resource we really have. How we choose to spend our time is a reflection of our priorities, and we don't want to go into any relationship wasting people's time. And I remember it had to be this person, but I totally zapped out and was and got my schedule mixed up and was not there when I was supposed to be, right? And this was a few years ago. This wasn't recently. So and I just totally flaked out and I missed the whole podcast appointment. And man, that person, I was like, hey, can we reschedule? And that person lit me up. I mean, it was just like, and it wasn't malicious. Something happened, parenting, child, life, whatever, messed up one time. And that person lit me up. I mean, they went off on me, said, how dare you? You just cost me X amount of time. I could have been doing something else with my time and all these things. And it really went off. So this was really early when we first started out with Flip Lifestyle. Okay. So I learned a good lesson there though. One,
I had to step back and say, is this habitual? Am I really always missing appointments? And I realized I was the only person this had ever happened with. And, then I looked at our own podcast, and we had, done dozens of episodes at the time, and we had never really missed one of ours. So I said, okay, well, this was just a one-time fluke thing. Totally understand where they're coming from, and them being mad. That's okay. But as our podcast got bigger and we started dealing with bigger and bigger and bigger influencers, and then people started, coming onto the Flip Lifestyle podcast, our members and people like that, I also said, wow, my time is becoming more and more valuable. It is these blocks of 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour or 2 hours that I, put on the calendar. They're really, really valuable, especially when we're creating content. But at the same time, I didn't want to be this crazy egomaniac who always just, rolled over people. And I never wanted to get in a situation where I was putting my schedule and my time over the time of other people. And especially this year in 2020, where we've learned so much about, how our time can be taken from us and how our schedules and appointments and, all of a sudden the normal goes away. Our kids aren't in school, so we can't schedule those times. So that makes those little blocks of time even more precious for me and for my guests or for the people who are hosting me. And, today, we woke up and we had 1,000 things to do. We had to get kids in one place. We had a podcast recording here. We had a coaching call over there, and we had to juggle and schedule all of this. And respecting our own time has become very, very hard in the new normal, in the new world, let alone respecting and balancing other people's time and other people's schedules. And I had something happen to me this morning that really got this on my front burner. I had an appointment today with someone who is an influencer and who is connected to some of the biggest influencers in the game, a great relationship, awesome person, love talking to this person. We text each other we message each other on Facebook, and we're in a couple groups together, and just have so much respect for this person. Like, I like this person, but this person flaked out on me at the last minute on a podcast today. And this wouldn't have even been so bad as if 2 weeks ago, this same person hadn't flaked out on me again. Same situation happened. I said, I always check in the morning if people are still good. I'm like, hey, we still good for 12 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock. Just want to check in. If it's not, that's cool. I can do something else. I've always got backup time planned. But are we good? 2 weeks ago, sent this message to this person. Sent me a message back and goes, oh my gosh, I've double booked. I got another thing running up into our podcast. Is it okay if I push it back 30 minutes? And I said, sure, it's okay, right? Because, hey, I had time. I have freedom. I live that flipped lifestyle. I can control my schedule. I got buffer on either side of most of my appointments. Sure. Another 30 minutes goes by. Can it be another 30 minutes? Right? And it turns out they were on a call with somebody else, and they hadn't planned their time effectively, and I said, hey, look, let's just reschedule. They rescheduled again. We come up today. Hey, are we good? Oh, no, I've messed up again. Can we push it back to next week? Right? So this is becoming a habit at this point. So now I have to make a decision, like, how am I going to handle this situation where, one, I don't let someone walk over my time, and two, I understand that, hey, it's crazy. The world's crazy, and life is crazy, and business is crazy. So how do I respect them as well? So, as I rescheduled again, I was like, cool, man, no problem. Let's push it back one more time, but I've got a lot of bookings for November, and, I can't keep moving this around. So I kind of, that's how I left that situation. But I said, I need a framework for time management and relationship management. I need a framework that will work for me, a busy dad, a busy husband, a busy entrepreneur, that I can just plug into from now on, and I don't have to make decisions about time management and relationship management. Because the truth is, even good opportunities, you shouldn't bend over backwards for, right? There should be wiggle room, but you don't have to have anybody on your podcast. You don't have to have anybody in your brand. There's a billion people doing stuff on the internet. You can always find somebody else. You can always find another guest. You can always find another opportunity, right? It's like when you buy a house, people feel like, I found the house. well, did you? Because if you don't buy this one, there'll be another house, right? Like, or I found the perfect car for me. Did you? Because they probably made 100,000 of those, and there's other car lots selling that same car. But as humans, we get emotional, right? We think, oh, this is the greatest opportunity ever. And if I miss this one, it won't open 100 other doors, right? But that's never the case. There's always more opportunity. There's always other things that you can put on your schedule. So I came up with this framework today, handwritten right here. And I think based on everything I've learned dealing with large egos in the influencer space over the past 8 years, and also dealing with my own ego as an entrepreneur, as my time has become more and more valuable as our community has grown and our business has grown, as our team has grown, and my pie is getting cut thinner and thinner, I really needed to formalize this framework. So I want to share that framework with you guys today. And maybe, these lessons that I've learned over the last 8 years can really serve you as you start getting more opportunities, as you start scheduling things, as you start getting your calendar filled up, as people flake out on you and they don't show up for appointments with you. Maybe this will help you deal with that. Okay. So I got a 3-step framework, and this is how I'm going to deal with situations like this, whether it's a member coming on the Flipped Lifestyle podcast or an influencer coming to the Membership Masters podcast, or any other kind of appointment in between. This is how I'm gonna deal with it. Okay, so number one, when I reach out to somebody to be on my podcast, I'm going to consider that the opportunity. That's step one in the framework. Like, I am giving someone an opportunity either to get some of my time, right? So if I reach out to a guest or I reach out to a member, I want to give as many people an opportunity as possible, not only for them, but for me to provide value in an exchange and to help each other succeed. All right. So number one, the first appointment, I'm going to start calling the opportunity, right? So when we schedule an appointment, we have an opportunity now, an opportunity to connect, an opportunity to create content, an opportunity to build a relationship, an opportunity to maybe open the door for partnership, like all these things. That first one is the opportunity. Now, let's say that I have to cancel, or let's say that person cancels on me, and I don't care if it's the last minute that they're canceling or 3 days before, and they're being respectful in doing it. I'm going to call the second rescheduled appointment grace. The first one's an opportunity for us to help each other. The second one, if something happens, hey, we all need a little grace, especially right now in our life. So I'm just going to give people grace. And you know what? Let's reschedule the second opportunity. I'm not going to invest any emotion in it. You don't have to explain to me, man, like why you canceled, or I don't have to explain to you. Like, this is just grace. Like, hey, this didn't work out. Let's give each other some grace here. And that way I don't have to deal with everything individually. I've got a system here. I just know I'm going to give grace. Like, doesn't matter. It can be legit, not legit, flaked out, not flaked out. You can value someone else's time over me, and you got a better opportunity, and that's great. But just a little grace. Let's reschedule. Now, I'm at the situation right now where I've already shown grace, and this person canceled on me a second time. At the last minute, too. It was like 30 minutes before. So I think that I'm going to give, so there's a third time here, a third scheduling opportunity, and I'm going to call that redemption. So we got the opportunity. We have grace if we mess it up. And I'm going to give you one more chance at redemption, right? So, hey, this situation today, hey, can we let's reschedule one more time. I got next week, but I'm going to make sure to tell people, hey, this is the opportunity. I'm not going to say, hey, you have an opportunity for redemption. I'm going to say, hey, let's reschedule this one more time. But this is the last time that we will be rescheduling this opportunity. I need to move on to these other opportunities. Every 30-minute block on my calendar is a huge opportunity. It's a huge opportunity to succeed. It's a huge opportunity to build that relationship or that partnership. I can't keep giving you those opportunities, those 30-minute opportunities. So here's redemption. You show up this time, we're good. We're solid. But if you don't, I'm going to have to harden my heart. I'm going to have to move on, and I am not going to seek out that opportunity anymore. I'm not going to try to reschedule that opportunity anymore. I'm not going to give any more grace to let you, cancel on me again. I'm not going to do that. I've offered you an opportunity. I've offered you grace, and I've offered you a redemption. And I hope that these same principles would come back to me. But after this opportunity at redemption, if it's kind of like shame on, it's like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Hey, you fool me a third time, I'm pretty much done with this. So at that point, I'm going to move on. And but here's the deal. It's a lot like in the Bible. Like there's a point where you're going to lose your chance at redemption, but the door is always open. If they were to go out of their way and they were to come back to me and they were like, look, I messed up. I'm going to schedule this for you. I will not mess up this time. And that door can be opened back later. I'm probably going to give it some time before I would trust that person to give them a second shot at that. But that's how I'm going to handle my schedule from now on. I'm going to offer the opportunity. Hey, let's schedule an appointment. If you miss the appointment on me, I'm going to give you grace. Let's reschedule. No big deal. You don't have to tell me why. I'm done. Not even going to think about it. I forgive you. Here's grace. Let's move on. Hey, I'm going to need some grace. My kid's going to throw up on me 5 minutes before a podcast sooner or later, and I'm going to have to cancel somebody. So I need a little grace too. And then, man, if we mess that one up, look, I'm a little frustrated, but how about some redemption? You can make it up to me, but after that, we're moving on. I can go get another guest. I can go find another opportunity. They're all out there. All you got to do is look for it in that. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I know that, as a content creator, these things happen. And also, too, just to let you know that like this is kind of how Jocelyn and I will fix problems. We will create a framework. We will create a system. That way, when these things inevitably happen, I don't have to exercise any brain power, any stress, any frustration, or anything like that to fix the problem. There's a plan. There's a system. Whenever anyone ever, especially an influencer, flakes out on me in the future, I don't have to trigger my emotions. I don't have to feel slighted or disrespected. I don't have to, regret that I'm not going to have that time, with that person. I got a framework. I know that the first one's an opportunity. I know the second one I'm going to show grace. I know the third one I'm going to offer some redemption. But then I'm moving on, and I'm going to find somebody else, and I'm not going to waste any more of my time with that. And I didn't even have to do that. And the more things in your business that you can framework out to remove the emotion from your business, because I'm a really passionate person, right? Like I was so pent up with passion, before I created this framework today that I was like, I'm going to create a framework. I'm going to go live and talk about it because I need to get this out of my head, right? But we do this all the time. We remove these emotions. Jocelyn was really good at this in the beginning of our business. Customer service really weighed on her, like certain situations, maybe refunds or cancellations or things like that. So she just created emotionless frameworks. This is how it works, so that we would never get down or get bogged down with emotion, or that one little incident would turn into an emotional depression that would stop us from moving our business forward. Because we had a framework. Well, so I think this will help some people, as you're starting to control your time and you're starting to manage your time and you're trying to, start, build, and grow these businesses, and you start getting these opportunities, realize they're all not going to work out perfectly. And that we all have to help each other a little bit sometimes, especially in, the new era that we're living in. And that frameworks like this can really be a big help in your business. All right, y'all, that is all the time we have for today's Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. I hope that I helped you overcome some mindset challenges. I hope I helped you break through some fears. I hope that I helped you leap over some obstacles that are holding you back from your online dream. It is our mission here at Flipped Lifestyle to help as many families as possible find the freedom that we have through online business and membership websites. We would love to help you take your next steps toward building a better future for your family by giving you 100% free access to our entire training program, the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint. This is the exact step-by-step process that we use to start, build, and grow our own online business, create stable, predictable income, quit our full-time jobs, and become and stay self-employed. The Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint will help you find your idea, research that idea to make sure it can make money online, create your product, and launch your membership site into the world. We've helped thousands of people through the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint, and we believe we can help you and your family too. To get 100% free access to the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint, all you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/FREE. Fill out a short information form and you will have access today. This is not a starter kit. This is the entire Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint, and it is designed to help you start, build, launch, and grow your membership from scratch. There are people out there charging thousands of dollars for similar programs, but you can get the entire Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint for free today. Hey, thanks again for listening to today's episode of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Can't wait to come back into your earbuds again next time. Until then, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.